Countries around the world evoke different emotions in each of us. People often seek a connection with the countries they wish to visit and aim to develop a sense of sympathy for them. The source of this sympathy may be related to economic prosperity for some, a lifestyle connection for others, or perhaps their excellence in an area of interest, such as football. Almost everyone has a deep affection for countries like Argentina and Brazil, even if they do not have extensive knowledge about them or have never lived there. This affection is mainly due to the significant impact these South American countries have had on the world of sports, especially in football. Argentina, for example, is precisely one of these countries. Now, let's delve into the lives of people in Argentina, a place where the heart of football beats. Let's discuss their daily challenges and the way they live. Firstly, when you think of Argentina, you should imagine a vast expanse of land. When you look at the country on a world map, it may seem extensive and narrow. However, compared to European countries, it is genuinely enormous. Argentina covers an immense area of 2,780,000 square kilometers of land. But Argentina is not the largest country in South America. Brazil has an area of 8.5 million square kilometers, approximately 3 times the size of Argentina. Within this vast area, only 45 million people call Argentina home. This low population density, especially considering the size of the territory, is something to take note of. Argentina shares its borders with Chile to the west, Bolivia and Paraguay to the north, Brazil and Uruguay to the east. The country operates under a presidential system in a federal republic. This means it is not governed solely by the words of an individual. The capital of the country is Buenos Aires, one of the most popular and frequently mentioned cities in Argentina. If you want to explore Argentina, you can easily find flights from around the world to there. However, most of these flights involve layovers. This means that airlines typically gather passengers from various parts of the world and drop them all in Argentina simultaneously. The good news is that Argentina does not require visas for travelers from many countries. Now, as we explore the details of life in the country, it is important to note that there is no distinct Argentinian language spoken in Argentina. Spanish is the official language of Argentina. Although the middle-aged and older population may have limited knowledge of English, it is more commonly spoken by the younger generation. The reason for the prevalence of Spanish in the country, of course, is rooted in Spain's history of having a profit-focused economic system during its colonization. During those years, the first colonies were established in Argentina, marking the beginning of a long period of exploration that lasted until the 19th century. Over time, even their own populations were transported to these lands. As a result, the Spanish language became deeply rooted in the fabric of this country, and linguistic assimilation took place. In 1976, Argentina found itself in dispute with the British. Both Argentina and the United Kingdom claimed rights to the nearby Falkland Islands. In the ensuing war, Argentina suffered significant losses and was defeated by the British. Consequently, despite more than 40 years having passed since the war, the Argentine people have not given up their claim on the Falkland Islands. They consider the British as occupiers of their own lands and have turned this into a national struggle. While the British claim to be the first to discover the Falkland Islands, Argentina maintains that these islands were inherited from the Spanish. However, if you visit the Falkland Islands today and observe the local population, all 3,000 inhabitants consider themselves British and support the United Kingdom. The sustainability of life on the island is, in fact, maintained with financial support from the United Kingdom. I provide a detailed account of the Falkland Islands issue to suggest that if you ever find yourself in Argentina, it is best to avoid discussing the Falklands. People become uncomfortable and agitated when this topic arises. Especially, never exhibit behaviors that praise the United Kingdom in Argentina, or at the very least, avoid walking around wearing a United Kingdom shirt. On the other hand, Argentina has bigger problems. The country has been plagued by endless political instability and economic issues for years, reducing the prosperity and quality of life for its people. Inflation has long exceeded double digits and sometimes even surpasses 100%. This means that the purchasing power of the population is decreasing day by day, and the value of their money is almost non-existent. You may consider the average salary of an adult in the country to be around $500. Therefore, if you have a supplementary income of approximately $1,000 per month and wish to move to Argentina, you can live very comfortably there, my friends. People are managing to survive with as little as $300. If you wonder how they manage to do this, well, except for the capital, rents and bills in many parts of the country have very reasonable values compared to global standards. For example, if you want to rent a one-bedroom apartment in Mar del Plata, a coastal city in Argentina, you will find the average rent around $150. If you plan to live alone, you can even rent a studio for as little as $100. In contrast, when you look at economically troubled countries around the world today, you find people earning the minimum wage and still having to pay more than the minimum wage for rent. It seems that the Argentine government, although unable to find a permanent solution to inflation, has managed to adjust the cost of living according to people's income. However, the government continues to print money constantly, and this crisis seems to have no end. People try to convert their pesos into dollars as much as possible and save. This is because the dollar never loses to the peso and provides a sense of security to the Argentine people. For example, if someone who wants to buy a house saves in pesos, they will never be able to afford the house they want because the value of the peso is constantly increasing. However, if they save in dollars, the price of the house remains the same. Therefore, life is difficult for the average person in Argentina. The country has high unemployment, and purchasing power is equally low. Politicians cannot solve these problems, leaving the people unhappy. This growing unhappiness among the people further fuels chaos and increases crime rates in the country. Even in the capital, Buenos Aires, there are dozens of dangerous neighborhoods where no one dares to enter. The country's economic instability, combined with its geographical isolation, makes Argentina far from being a preferred destination. That's why Argentina is not chosen by the global community for tourism or permanent living. In fact, Argentina not only does not receive immigration from abroad, but its own citizens also leave the country when they succeed in any field. The football sector is one of the most vivid examples of this. From a young age, the biggest dream of children in this country is to become a football player like Messi, Maradona, and dozens of other Argentine stars and achieve a prosperous life in Europe. This situation also applies to Brazilian children. This is because the country has really weak employment sectors compared to the modern world. The overall economy of the country depends on agriculture and agriculture-based industries. They cannot produce and sell any technology to the outside world. They don't have any globally recognized major brands. Thus, the country's production line is very weak, and almost everything related to the modern world comes ready-made from abroad. Foreign currencies in the country are constantly flowing out, and there is no foreign currency coming into the country, which continuously raises inflation and further diminishes the value of the Argentine peso. In fact, Argentina is a country of extreme contradictions. Despite having so much inflation and economic problems, even an image of a country with high crime rates and hungry people everywhere, you might think, is there a crisis here, when you enter the nightlife of the capital? Because these people never stop having fun and never give up the pleasure of living, no matter how severe the crisis is. The streets of Buenos Aires are crowded with hundreds of people in front of venues. When you look at people's faces, their clothes, or their tables, you can clearly see that they never hold back from having fun and enjoying life. If you have money, just like anywhere else in the world, you can easily attract attention in Argentina. Especially women here really love to have fun, and there are thousands of men who come from abroad to meet Argentine women. That's why Argentine people take good care of themselves and are always welcoming. From here, one can deduce that Argentina is a consumption-oriented country. People manage to survive, barely making it to the end of the month, but they never stop having fun, spending, and consuming. Especially the younger generation in the country lives life day by day, focusing on savoring the moment. As for their character, they are quite friendly. They have a somewhat sensitive and somewhat spoiled side. For example, they can make jokes about themselves and their appearance, turning it into entertainment. When you come across this type of joke, they expect you to take it in good humor. If you have a tough and serious disposition and can't handle a joke, you might not find the Argentine atmosphere very pleasant. Thank you for watching up to this point. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel to help us continue producing content. See you soon!